When we look back at the first videos, I was making them 1 to 2 hours apart. And now, this one is probably 100 hours after the last one in terms of effort put into the game. I'm now at 150 hours, and the rest of the team are at another 150 hours. And why is that? That's because we're fixing bugs, and nothing looks any different really on the screen. I mean, maybe things are slightly better, you know, those buttons now have mouse over state. Still can't read the text. We've got a new drone, he's really cool and cute, I like him. When things die, it's a bit less buggy. I've got like a tutorial here, so it forces you to retry at least once so that you can't fail on the first level. I've added lots of little tutorial notes here and there. To put some sound effects in, all kinds of stuff really. I fixed the frame rate. Ooh, it's just close to him. The upgrade system properly works, so there's loads of things working in the game now. This was all placeholder before. I've taken out half of the upgrades that you could buy, so I've simplified the game a little bit, just to make sure that we can get it done. The bank system works. Always to place a bank. Cheat money. It tells you all these little things just take ages, you know, adding that little pop-up, all that kind of stuff. Cell box. Oh, I'd have to do some research. Did I show the research before? This is in a sort of special fast mode. So let's select that and do the research. Who's it gonna be in 30 seconds? I can build something else just to quickly speed it up. But for example, when you finish research, it doesn't tell you anywhere on the main screen. You know, it's like I've got 7 seconds, 2, 1. You'd kind of like an icon here telling you to do something, or that they're busy, or whatever. Oh, is it gonna crash? No, I unlocked a new thing. Okay, I've been balancing the game as well. So the way that I tend to balance a game like this is in the magic of Excel. So we want to make sure that there's a problem with a game like this, because at the beginning you have 5 inmates and they have to generate enough money for you to survive, but later on in the game you'll have 300 inmates. So that means your money is going to be exponentially bigger. So the only way you can really counter that and not make the game just super like, if the content comes at you too fast, it actually becomes really grindy and boring. You feel quite tired of new content and it doesn't make things feel exciting. You have to have that anticipation before you get the thing. So making sure that the things cost incrementally more that you have to buy to match the kind of income of the inmates that you're catching. I tend to do it with like math. So the buildings themselves all cost money, and each type of person has a bunch of wants and needs. So the basic human, he just wants life support, he just wants 1, and it goes down like that. So based on where they unlock, or where I expect the player to unlock them in terms of research, this is where the need is introduced, and it matches the order that you research them. Then I go down to the bottom and I make sure all the points add up to something meaningful. Then I figure out the costs of the things. I figure out how much I expect the player to be earning at each stage, and that helps me break down the costs. Then I did the bank as a custom handwritten one rather than using an exponent. Most of it uses an exponent like that, you see? So the holding cells are really expensive, but you don't need many of them, so that's the most ridiculous exponent. Normally it's 1.5 in this game. But that's just the first number that I try. And then I'll figure out my expectations of how long people should spend in each area of the game. And then I'll track it against real players and then see whether or not they're getting the experience I want them to. I think back in the old Tiny Dice days, I didn't think like this, and it made it a lot harder to balance the game. So I think I'm on the bug fixing, so where's my bugs? There they are. Christine helps me put the bugs in, and I try and fix them. There's probably some profanity there, so don't read that. But yeah, so bug fixing all day today, and then tomorrow something crazy is going to happen if I manage to get through these 45 bugs.